welcome to this beautiful Friday. And today we are going to be discussing, like I promised you last week, that I'll be sharing with you business secrets that I've learned over the past 10 years. So today, briefly, we're going to be sharing together how to start your first business. How to start your first business. Starting your first business is something that most people get so scared to do, because after your first business, if you can only start your first business, every other business you start will be a bit easier. So, but that very first one is probably the most difficult one that you have to start or you have to face. So once you can, break that jinx and you can face your challenges or you can face your fear and start that very first business, I can assure you that it gets only easier as you go. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the things you need to know on how to start your very first business. So without taking much time, let's dive right straight into it. So point number one, the first thing you need to do when you want to start your first business is to know your why, right? You need to decide on your why. Why do you want to go into business? Why do you want to stop looking for a job? Why do you think that you're fit to do a business or to run your own business? Why do you think that you don't want to? Because really, we have different temperaments, we have different character traits, we have different personalities. So some people are actually very, very good at helping other people run their businesses. They are not necessarily good at running their own business. They excel and they do very well. In fact, they will be at their best when they are helping someone else run their business. And the reason why I say that is because of the personality they have. They are the people that they don't necessarily come up with new ideas, but they are executioners. They can run and implement stuff. So when the founders or the originators of the ideas bring the ideas to them, they can run and execute, and they will execute very well. So such people are, best either having to have the ideators with them or the inventors with them, or to actually work with someone else who can bring up new ideas. So you need to discover your why do you want to go into business? Have you found something interesting that you want to start? Have you found an original idea you want to go into or you want to execute? Have you found something that will be sufficient enough to propel you throughout the journey of entrepreneurship? Because it's not a 2 years journey, it's not a 3 years journey, it's probably a 5 years journey in the very first lap. So they are in different laps. The very first lap, they said every business that scales beyond 5 years is probably going to be successful. And most businesses die in their first 5 years. So the first 5 years of your business is probably the first lap. The next 5 years is the second lap, and probably the next 20 years is the third lap. So you need to be able to survive this entire phase or these different phases of your business. So what I'm saying is that your why, or the purpose or the reason why you're going into business, is going to be that propeller, that motivation for you to scale through all the phases of your business. Once you've discovered your why and it's strong enough for you, I think you have scaled through the first lesson. The second point you need to decide on is to decide the brand name. You need to discover or decide on the brand name. Make a decision on the name you want to call your brand. And name is very important, right? I would not overstretch it, but you know that when you mention a name like Coca-Cola, everybody knows what that means. And you can just picture Coca-Cola in your head. When you mention Nike, it's rings a bell. When you mention Fanta, it rings a bell. When you mention MTN, for example, it rings a bell. So your name has to be something that is easy to pronounce, easy to remember, strikes a chord, and makes sense. So it can be something that people will be looking at Ugwadadogo. So you can't come up with a name that people have to bite their tongues to pronounce. It doesn't make any sense. So except you are, I don't know, you are a con artist or something. So just try to come up with a name that represents what you stand for, that represent that resonates with your why and your purpose and your passion and what the business also stands for. It could be an abbreviation, it could be, there are different principles of crafting a name. So in another video, I will tell you, take you through all the process or the different ways how you can come up with almost 100 different names, variations. So the different ideas and tricks you can use to, remove an alphabet, remove a letter, combine two words together and remove something, a lot of stuff. All right. So what you need to do next, which is the third thing, is that you need to decide on the type of business that you want to start, the type of business that you want to start. So the type of business could be a sole proprietorship, the type of business could be a partnership, it could be a limited liability company, it could be a public company. But of course, When you're starting out as your first business, you want to start either as a sole proprietorship or a limited liability company. If you're planning to raise funds or bring in more people who will be able to buy shares in your company, then a limited liability company is the route to go. So in another video, I will explain all the different type of businesses, but you need to do your research and decide on the type of business that you want to do. But I will advise, when you're starting your first business, is either you are doing a sole proprietorship or a limited liability company. So you can register a business name or you can register a limited liability company. So this is where I will stop today in this first video. I'm going to continue in the next video because I've always wanted my videos to be less than 5 minutes, but I've exceeded my time. So I want you to watch the next video where I will continue on the last 3 points of what you need to do to start your first business. Thank you, and stay with me on Strictly Business with Okoyemi Emmanuel. Alright, so make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep hearing more of these exciting videos. So I want you to click on the subscribe button right there. Subscribe right now and then like and leave a comment if you have 1 or 2 questions or you just want to drop a comment about what I've said. Thank you very much.